Hi, this is the next video on assessment of students. And in this video, we're going to talk about Bloom's taxonomy. So at the end of this video, you should be able to explain Bloom's taxonomy and place objectives on the appropriate level in Bloom's taxonomy. There are some resources for you in the readings folder. The Bloom's taxonomy worksheet will be what you use to do your assignment. There's an article on Bloom's taxonomy that just gives you more information if you want to know more about Bloom's or to help you understand. And there's also a short chapter in the textbook that talks about Bloom's taxonomy in chapter 2. So what is Bloom's taxonomy? Bloom's taxonomy is a classification system to help us define the different levels of thinking, learning, and understanding. It was created by a man named Bloom, and this was his idea of questioning and good ways to get students to think at different levels. So you can see on the chart, there are different levels of questioning, thinking, understanding. The first level would be that they are able to remember or recall certain facts. And this is known as one of the lowest levels of Bloom's taxonomy, but that doesn't mean it's less important. I see it as a good foundation. They need to be able to recall facts, but they need to go beyond that. The next level is, can they understand and can they explain the ideas that they've learned? And then can they apply the information to new situations? How is this information useful and how can I apply it to this new situation? Can they analyze information? Can they draw connections among ideas? Then can they evaluate a situation? Can they take a stand on something and support it? And then the highest level is, can they create? Can they produce an original work? The taxonomy has been modified several times. The first variation was that they made them all action verbs instead of being more passive, just by putting ing on the end, so that it was seen as a continuous process and not something that was one and done. So now instead of remember, it's remembering. Instead of understand, it's understanding, etc. Then it had another change where they sort of flipped it. Where they saw that, okay, yes, the remembering is a good foundation, but maybe it should get bigger as they get to the top. But the concept of it is still the same, in that there are lots of different areas that we should be helping students to develop their thinking. And if we can see where our questions and where our objectives fit on Bloom's taxonomy, we'll start to see that we need to make sure we are asking questions and creating objectives that are on all the different levels. So this is just another visual of Bloom's taxonomy. They've taken it and they've put it into a chart. And so this is a chart that is, again, it's in the readings folder, and this is what you're going to use for your assignment. It needs to be uploaded on this document. That is part of the assignment. And if you do not do that, there are points deducted for it, because I want to see that you're following instructions and to see where you would put your objectives on the chart. So you were asked to create 2 SMART objectives, and they should be appropriate to your grade level. So in the last video, we did talk about SMART objectives and what that actually means. So you should know what a SMART objective is. But then looking at this table, you have to decide, where does it fit on Bloom's taxonomy? So we know the first 6 is it remember, understand, apply, analyze, evaluate, or create. But looking down the left-hand side, now they've also given you a knowledge dimension. So is it factual knowledge? Is it just basic understanding of something? It's factual. Or is it conceptual knowledge, that they understand the principles and the theories, they understand the concept? Is it procedural knowledge, in that now they know how to do something, they can perform a skill? Or is it metacognitive knowledge, when they are actually aware of their own thinking? I would say that the metacognitive is difficult to realize, so I wouldn't think that any of the objectives would fit on the metacognitive level. So remember, in the other video, the objective was at the end of the module, students will be able to create a SMART educational objective. So that was my objective. And then you have to look at Bloom's taxonomy and say, where does this objective fit? So the objective was to create smart educational objectives. Where do you think it would fit on this table of Bloom's taxonomy? So it's not, I don't think, an exact science, but you should have definitely been on the far side of Bloom's taxonomy. It should have been in the create. The first word of it was create. So that should have given you a clue that it was in that cognitive dimension. If you put it under remember, understand, apply, that's incorrect. It has to be over on the create side. Now, as far as the factual, conceptual, procedural, you could sway me on how you explain it. But I see it under the procedural. It is knowing how to do something. You are creating a smart educational objective. And so then this is what your homework should look like. Something like this. My objective 1 was to create, now write the whole objective. I am not writing the whole thing here because I don't have the space, but you are supposed to be creating a smart objective. And you can see that this objective is not smart. So do not follow it and say, well, yours said this. Well, I was abbreviating because I'm doing it on a slide, but yours should be a complete SMART objective that says at the end of this module, students will be able to create a SMART educational objective. Okay. And then I explained it. I placed the objective here because you were asked to create, and it was also a procedural knowledge, knowing how to do something. So remember, your homework should look something like this, telling me what grade level you're looking at, your objective 1, and then spelled out, and then your objective 2, and then explaining why you placed it where you placed it. So again, if you have any questions, know that you can post them on the discussion board. If they're very general about the assignment, something you think I'm going to get 20 times, please just post it there. You can always come to my office hours if you want to discuss anything, and you can always email me at my email. Until next time, take care.